Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nerds Talkin. I'm your host, NerdyTemz. Joining me this week is Catnick.
They poisoned me.
Ember.
You're only slightly sick.
And Phasor Shift.
I am a Stegosaurus.
I think you killed him, Phasor.
Why did I get moved to Dilhome's Bard? What the hell?
Did you get moved? I didn't even...
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't touch it.
Oh, I
didn't touch it.
That was weird. Anyway. Alrighty, so this week, guys, we get to talk about the Season 8 premiere!
Yay, new pony!
New pony! Woo! And I'll say, I was actually surprised by this season premiere, like, big time. Because when I first heard of the concept, I was like, oh god, they're jumping the shark.
They already jumped the shark, quite literally.
Yeah, but like...
like, this was a jumping the shark while the shark is on fire.
Jumping the shark that's jumping the shark.
And is juggling chainsaws.
It's just like they keep adding, like, branches.
Yeah. But I ended up getting blown away. And in fact, one of the reasons I got blown away is our first topic, which is the new kids. I figured we'd get them discussed and out of the way.
Oh, right away. Oh, geez. Okay.
Well, it sets the new kids and then movie tie-ins. If you want to do movie tie-ins first.
I mean, they don't get introduced till a little while into the episode.
That's fair.
Yeah, but they're the most prevalent thing.
That's true. Hold on. I just gotta dig through.
I'll be honest. I don't remember their names. It's been a little while, and I haven't had time to rewatch the series.
I would probably, since I watched it like 3 times.
Oh,
but like I'm sick, so I can't. My mind's just a mess.
But I want to say of them, my favorite was probably the Changeling. She was
Ocellus was pretty good. Yeah.
She was so adorable. She's definitely going to be the Fluttershy of this group.
I was dreading Yada, whatever her name is, the yak. But she turned out to be okay.
Yep, she was kind of fun too. I like the stoner pony.
Sandbar.
You cannot... He is definitely a stoner. Just the way he walked and the way he was and the way his eyes were always
just
slanted.
Chill. You can be just chill.
That's fair. I'm convinced he's related to Tree Hugger, though. In some way.
Not everybody who's just chill is related to each other, Timmy.
They all smoke together. Family that smokes together stays together.
Look, I'm a Temmie, so all y'all ponies look the same to me.
That's racist.
Which
everybody's a little bit racist.
I'm kidding. Nah. Like I said, I'm hyper. So I had about 5 monsters going into this show, so this will be fun. Be lucky if I don't crash later. Okay, so we have, what were the names? Sandbar?
We have Sandbar.
Ocella the Changeling, Yona the Yak,
Gallus the Griffin.
What the heck?
Skolder was the dragon, and...
Sea Spray?
That sounds right.
Sea Spray the Griffin?
Sea Spray the Hippogriff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's griffins and there's hippogriffs. Like, don't get them confused. They're separate things.
I guess this confirmed that the hippogriffs can change at will.
Yeah.
I think they've just been like sea ponies for so long that like they could just kind of like they have that vision. Like they can't just transform into anything, you know. Like they just.
But then
again, they needed the pearl in the movie.
But then again, thinking about it, did she need the pearl? Because it seemed like she kind of just did it on her own when she was coming out of the water.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see it, but
I feel like maybe
because basically what happened was it glowed under the water, and then she jumped out.
Maybe the pearl works long distance.
Yeah, that's true too. Maybe the pearl works long distances.
I think it's more likely that they just it's a magic that once you use the pearl, you can learn to use without the pearl. Maybe
I guess
kind of like a gateway drug.
Makes me wonder about the main six though, because they got turned into sea ponies by the pearl.
But they weren't very long.
They weren't. Yeah, and they weren't shown if you could change without the pearl how to do it.
Right.
Anyway.
It does raise a couple questions, but none that we don't have answers for anytime soon. I was kind of disappointed that I was gonna say Thorax introduced Phalus. I don't know their names. I'm bad.
I don't know their names.
Are you talking about his brother, Phalanx, from the one episode?
So no, Thorax introduced the Changeling. Ember introduced the girl dragon, which everybody in the chat was convinced was her daughter.
Huh.
Like we had to point out, like, no, it never explicitly said that they were related, just that she was bringing her there.
Yeah,
they weren't.
I didn't even consider that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And it was the old Griffin introduced the male the male Griffin.
Grandpa Gruff.
Yeah, Grandpa Gruff introduced the Griffin.
I haven't seen the later half of the last season, so I don't know who the heck this is.
Grandpa Gruff wasn't in the last season. He was in the season before that.
It was in the episode where Gilda returned.
Okay,
I don't
for
the first time.
Remember this character at all.
I mean, he was a one-off character, and I think this is the first time he's really been prominent since then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could be wrong, though.
This is his first return. But what I'm getting at is I was kind of disappointed that Sea Star, or whatever her name was, from the movie, did not introduce the hippogriff.
Because they're not going to pay for those premium AAA VAs.
Kristen Chenoweth. She's expensive. She's a big
So
name
they basically got someone to do the best impression they could of her and made a new one.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like she reminded me so much of her. Like it was like, wow, oh boy, this is gonna be a hyperactive frickin' Pinkie Pie with wings. That's exactly what we frickin' need.
Stairs.
I ended up liking her.
It's like what Surprise would have been.
Yeah. Show me these stairs. At the end of the episode.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we didn't see too much of the hippogriffs in the movie, but with this one, he's like corporal or whatever. A hippogriff.
He's an ambassador.
Like after, yeah, but he had some military title, and his mannerism, he's very a military.
He's a dignitary. He's very professional.
So you think that he might have been like a royal guard that we never got to see?
Maybe I thought he introduced himself as like commander or
all of these are ambassadors. I don't think they're particularly any other role that we're given other than Ember.
Yeah.
And the yak.
Right.
Just the ones that we know about.
I do like that she had the consistent yak, where they always say yak in every sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Or refer to themselves in the third person.
Well, it's not even a third person. It's more
they refer to themselves as yak, yeah.
Yeah, speaking of themselves as a species rather than an individual. So they kept that consistent.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So does anybody have a favorite, like of the new 6 kids?
Probably Ocellus.
Okay. That's the changeling, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I gotta say she was definitely my favorite, but again, I'm a huge Fluttershy fan. So, and she reminds me of Fluttershy.
I think Smolder.
Smolder?
Yeah.
Which one? That was the
dragon.
Yeah.
Wait, Smolder is a male, right?
No.
Smolder's female. It's actually kind of weird because they have 4 females, and Ocellus kind of sits in a weird middle ground, but I think they refer to her as a she, right?
Yeah, Ocellus is female.
Yeah, so there's 4 females and 2 males.
Yeah. I ship it. Do with that what you will. Okay. So I guess let's move on to movie tie-ins.
Phasor didn't say their favorite.
I don't really have a favorite, None of them really stuck out to me. couple of them I didn't like so much. Like, the Hippogriff was kind of annoying, and the Griffin was kind of an asshole. But, I don't know. I need to see more of them to get a better opinion or watch the episode again.
Okay.
I wonder if they're going to come back. Probably.
I would imagine
Most definitely. They wouldn't spend all that time introducing them if they weren't going to be...
I would think if they didn't come back, we're all going to be greatly disappointed in this season.
And it's like the whole first episode setting up the school, the characters. It's almost like...
Next episode, fucking nothing.
Yeah, we never see it again. It's like they have all this build up for this huge plot device that we'll never see again. Like, rainbow
and then
powers.
they died. Like, open the next episode with Twilight. There's like a huge fire behind her. Well, I'm glad that's over with.
We weren't cut out to be teachers anyway.
Huh.
Yep. Okay, so let's move on to movie tie-ins. I think this was the biggest surprise to a lot of people because it's my understanding a lot of people did not expect the movie to be canon.
Well, it didn't seem to take place in any logical point of time.
It did because it had to take place after season 6 or whatever because Glimmer was in there.
Yeah, it took place. It seems like it took place after season 7.
Cameo, like blink and you miss it type thing. So she.
Yeah, but she was still there, so.
I would say season 7, season 8, especially with them coming home to find the map, has expanded.
Oh, definitely now. It's just before this, it only could take place after a certain time.
Right. But so we got the I want to say this is actually kind of cool because most cartoons that get turned into movies, they will completely ignore their movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the series continues, they'll just be like, "Oh, that was a great adventure, huh?"
It's like, did they ever acknowledge Equestria Girls in the series?
No.
Yes and no. They did, but not. And it was in a very small, obscure way. The Sirens when they cameoed in.
Oh yes,
right,
yes,
yeah.
that, yeah.
But that was basically it. So.
And you got when the portal.
There's also the comics too.
Comics. We're only talking about the show.
The comics aren't overly considered canon unless they say otherwise. Like the current run, Legends of Equestria is canon.
That's what I was referring to. But
Legends of Equestria, as far as I know, hasn't mentioned Equestria Girls.
No, but they mentioned the Sirens.
That's true. But I like how they're going around the map, mentioning, this is where we met the pirates. This is where we did this.
Mm-hmm.
And then the big one, of course, was the End Tempest. Where's she? She didn't want to stay in Ponyville.
They didn't want to pay for Emma Blunt.
Just in translation, Emily Blunt was too expensive.
Yep.
I almost wish that Pinkie Pie would have broken the fourth wall there and said, "Oh, her voice actress was too expensive."
Oh no, they would never do anything like that. Even as a fourth wall break, saying somebody's too expensive is a good way to never ever
get them
have a chance at working with them again.
That's true. Although knowing Emily Blunt, she probably would have gotten a kick out of it.
Maybe, but still,
they
that's
could
one
say
of those
we can't afford.
no's.
They could have said we couldn't afford her for this episode.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, Deadpool said they couldn't afford more X-Men, but that's something different.
Yeah, that was way more subtle.
He also spent 90% of the movie poking fun at Hugh Jackman too, so we're not allowed to say his name, but it rhymes with
Pulverine.
Yeah. But anyway, I was honestly surprised that they tied into the movie. I honestly, when they started name dropping everything, I was like, oh my god, they're doing this. Especially Tempest. I was so glad that Tempest got a name drop.
Yeah.
And the Storm King eventually.
Yeah, they did mention the Storm King. I honestly think of any of them, I think Capper would be the most likely to cameo.
I don't know enough about.
As I say, only because Taye Diggs has stated it in the past that he would be so down for returning. It's that he had such a great time working with them apparently that he really wants to return.
I mean, there is always a chance they can come back for a one-off.
Yeah.
I mean,
If they can get the likes of William Shatner in here,
and like
And Felicia Day.
John
yeah,
Delancey was going to be one of those one-off characters, but he came back and is now
Yeah.
a commonly recurring secondary character.
Yep. So, did anybody have anything to add for movie tie-ins?
There wasn't really
It's
a
kinda
lot
weird that
that
they-
was beyond just like that one scene. Like it kind of
Other than the
like
other
they
races,
spent one scene saying, "Hey, the movie happened, by the way," and then the rest of the show was just not really
Man, they-
tied so much as just
no, they
acknowledgement.
sprinkled in the references every.
I wouldn't call them
Like-
references. I just call them acknowledgement.
Like, they mentioned Storm King, like, at least one time later on.
But that's what references are.
So,
I don't know. I see it
References
as
acknowledge.
it was enough to tell us that the movie happened and give like a very, very brief recap. But-
right, in case you didn't see the movie, this was what happened.
right.
Yeah, but not so much that if you
It-
didn't see the movie, you'd be completely lost, except for the hippogriff.
The only,
That
the
might be a
only,
bit of a-
the only thing I would say would have been a bit of a spoiler to anyone who hasn't seen the movie was the mention, well, where's Tempest? She didn't stay in Ponyville. Well, obviously that means Tempest became their friend.
I mean, also technically mentioning the Storm King and the hippogriffs.
Yeah.
True, yeah. But, okie dokie. Moving on. Our next topic is one I kind of am looking forward to talking about a little bit because, say what you will, I loved this character. Chancellor Naysay.
Are you sure you just like him because he was voiced by the Brain?
That actually had a lot to do with it. I'm a huge Maurice LaMarche fan. In fact, I get to meet him a week from today. I'll get the chance to meet him. So,
Cool.
which Ember talked to me after the show. I want to ask you something.
Okay.
But I'm a huge Maurice LaMarche fan, so hearing his voice come out of a pony character was kind of cool. I liked him because of just how it's one of those I love to hate him kind of deals. You know? Like, he strikes me as what would happen if Severus Snape became headmaster full time.
It's funny you should mention that.
Okay.
Because the scene where he's introduced with the Board of Education or whatever it's called.
The
struck me as-
EEA.
Yeah, EEA. Struck me as incredibly similar to the court scenes in Harry Potter. Like in
Yeah.
the Department of Mysteries or whatever. So I was kind of looking for one of the ponies around to look like a ponified version of Umbridge. Or have some other references of that
There is
into that. But I
kind
think this
of
whole room is kind of a
They all look old.
the one on the left, maybe. Like the far left, the female, maybe.
nah, she's just an old pony.
I think the old dude with the glasses, that's the one that Sweetie Belle said he's too old.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that guy lives in Ponyville.
Yeah, that is him actually.
And the yellow one on the right, that is Flash Sentry's mom.
Fair.
You never tell me otherwise. But I liked Naysay only again, Maurice LaMarche helped a lot. But I kind of want to see more of this character, and I am kind of hoping that that Twilight's able to open his eyes to friendship and all that stuff. Like, and I do love that he did get the "You shall not pass."
Just all of his lines, just it worked so well with him, that voice and that character.
And apparently,
mean,
civilian
yeah.
government can just lock up buildings.
Apparently.
Yes, and Celestia can do jack frickin' all about it. It's like, I'm sorry, aren't we princesses? Can't we do something about this? Nope. The school said otherwise.
And with the whole by the book and the rules, that's definitely more strict than any
I wouldn't
Board of
say so.
Education thing
Really?
would be.
No.
Have you seen American school systems?
They are very big
I
on
mean,
the
they have
regulations.
things, they don't
They
restrict to exactly how you teach the class. They tell you what you need, what they need to learn, and
they technically do.
On the test.
They do in some capacity.
I mean, sometimes, yeah, but
it might be a little bit exaggerated in this episode, but not like it's really not by that much.
Yeah.
No, I will say Twilight took it a bit too far.
Yeah, that's true too.
By telling
that's just Twilight, though.
By going through each class and then making them normal classrooms.
Mm-hmm.
That was taking it a bit too far because teachers even now are allowed individual waves.
Yeah, like they can have demonstrations, they can run experiments, and so it may have been Twilight pushing it to be much more strict than it needed to be. Like if the rest of the main six had taught the way that they had wanted to teach, just made sure to not go too overboard with it, and then Chancellor Naysay or whatever his name, Naysay, I don't know if it was Chancellor.
Yeah.
Chancellor Naysay.
Okay.
If
he came in and saw it like that, he may have said, well, it's a little bit unorthodox, but you're still following the rules.
She didn't want to take a chance, and he didn't seem like the kind of person that would be lenient.
Yeah, and it's the whole thing of, damn it, Twilight, listen to your friends. How many times have you had this problem before, and how many times has it always been, just listen to your friends?
Since when has a book failed her?
But books!
Yes, books never fail her. Not once. Can't name a single incident. Seriously, I actually can't.
Yeah, I can't either.
I do want to give kudos to Starlight here for taking the book out of her hook. That had to be the most ballsiest thing any character has ever done in this show. To smack a book out of Twilight's hoofs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, bitch,
I'm surprised they allowed that, honestly.
It's like you're gonna listen to me for a minute if it kills you. And by God, yes. If Starlight was not one of my favorite characters before, which she is totally after this episode.
That's true, yeah.
I really liked Starlight's capacity in here as like a counselor and as
Starlight or Twilight's friend.
Yeah.
But and her being the counselor, that's perfect. I could see that.
Well, I could see, well, if you're not getting along with your friends, you could always mind control them.
Yes.
So there may be a bit of I'm not so sure that was a good idea to put her in that sort of position, but
well, remember, she's learning herself too. So this is a growing and learning experience for her as well.
Yep.
I'm kind of curious what other classes could be taught and by who.
Yeah, it's a big school for 6 classes or 5. I don't know if Twilight even taught one.
I am very curious to I would really like just like in passing, they pass by a classroom and you hear an explosion. And Zora walks out and says some kind of rhyme about how that was the wrong ingredients. Like
Zora teach. I'd love to see more of Zora.
Alchemy.
Yeah.
Like she could teach alchemy and stuff like that. Discord could teach physics. Prove me wrong.
That makes sense.
And Trixie could teach pyrotechnics or drama.
I'd say drama.
Yeah, I would say Trixie would definitely be drama.
Okay, I've got another question though.
Yeah.
So, how the hell do any of these ponies have time to teach?
See,
that is a good question.
That is the question. Like, I am sorry, Rainbow Dash has to be the most. Like, her resume at this point has to be on the freaking roof because she's now a weather pony, she's now a Wonderbolt, and now she's a teacher.
All at once.
And she saved the world at least 50 times.
I mean, they all kind of have that kind of resume.
Well, Rarity has fashion designer /
She's got.
Yeah, but she's got like 4 shops.
Yeah.
I mean, there could be some times where they have to have substitutes to teach their classes. I don't know.
Maybe. Fluttershy has an animal sanctuary to run.
It could also be Like, I mean, we know the school's bigger and it's like the kind of school where the students stay there. I keep comparing it to Hogwarts in my mind, but it could be like that sort of thing where they have 1 or 2 classes 3 times a week.
Right.
I mean, that's horribly inefficient, but
Yeah.
Oh, and
It's
Applejack
like,
runs
what are
the farm. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, again, if we only have 6 teachers that we see, and I don't know how many students are there.
Yeah, God knows how many students actually showed up.
Well, it
I
looks
mean,
like
that could be a basis for an episode later.
looks like that's
I
it.
just wonder, like, what the schedule is for that. If it's such a school that it's a boarding school that they stay there.
Then again, if it does get burned down in an episode or 2 from now, we'll know the answer.
Yeah. So I guess that would be.
I mean, with the amount of people,
It's a huge
with the
building
amount
for
of
such a small school.
for the amount of students that they had in the picture, if that is all of them, they could probably get away with like 2 classes a day, and that's not much.
Yeah, but they still have other obligations. Like,
oh, and extra kudos to Spike for also having a Twilight wake the fuck up moment, where he grabbed her and just like pulled his face to her and said, "Who are you? And where's the real Twilight?" So that makes me curious. What is Spike the secretary? I would think he would be the secretary because she's the principal.
He's always been the secretary.
Well, when they first announced this, I honestly thought Starlight was going to be the secretary, to be honest with you. I thought she was going to step in as like the official secretary, but I guess Spike took that. Okay, so does anyone have anything to add about Chancellor Naysay or the school?
I'm looking at this this picture, and some of the ponies in it don't look like foals. They don't look like younglings as young as like Ember is.
I think it's supposed to be kind of like a community college or something.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
what I gathered. I think all of these characters are at least in their 18s, if not, or late teens, if not college age.
Or like at least like high school.
Right, like even the foreign students, like they are obviously older than like the Crusaders.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit, but still not fully grown as old as like the rest of the background ponies and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I still don't want to see porn of these guys, but
good way of putting it.
Do you hear me? Do you hear me, community? No.
Sorry, it's already happened.
Maybe the rules for the foreign exchange students are different than the ones for the ponies themselves.
Could be.
All right, it's just who was available to go and who they thought could benefit.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe the idea is that these people are supposed to come learn friendship, then go back to where they came from to spread it.
Yes.
Well, I also think the idea is like it's kind of like it's the launch of an exchange program. So like you might send one of your students to this experimental exchange program, and if it works out, then the next year more will come, and then like as it works out, it'll keep the program.
This is starting to weirdly become almost religion-esque. They're coming to learn friendship to spread its teachings.
It
Church of
it did come
Twilight.
across like that a lot actually to me at the very beginning of the first episode. It was like we gotta show everybody friendship. They must learn this friendship.
Yeah.
For everyone's sake.
That said, though, that is a good segue into our next topic. Now, the reason a lot of people hate Chancellor Naysay is because of a topic I am very shocked My Little Pony brought up. Now, they brought it up in the past, but never to this level. It was more, back in the past, people were just afraid of the changelings because they didn't understand them.
And also they, attacked the capital and took over the princess.
Right. This was outright racism. Like there is no ifs, ands, or buts. Like he outright turns and says, creatures like those have no place. You know what I'm saying?
Or the line that stuck out the most to me, well, why don't you go back to your kind?
Yeah, exactly. We were just talking last week about how, well, not last week, but the week before when we talked about Perfect Pair, how grown up this show has become.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely one of those moments, and the reason why the episode stood out to me significantly was because it tackled racism in such a child-friendly light, while still there's no denying it. Nope, this is a racist. That pony is racist. There's no
definitely an episode teaching about racism, which is great that they're doing stuff like that.
Yeah, like I was actually afraid we were going to find out this episode's banned because of it. Like I was like, when it was airing, I was like, oh no, oh pony no. But apparently it actually got rave reviews. People were actually praising it for teaching this topic in such a child-friendly way.
Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
I mean, it's current events. It's topical.
Yeah. And again,
I mean, technically, it's been topical for the last since humans existed, but
now racism in itself isn't new to kids' cartoons. Steven Universe has tackled it a couple times.
Yeah.
Adventure Time tackled it. Even though I would say those are young adult cartoons.
A lot of.
Well, I mean, they're on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
So.
I'm trying to think. I know Disney's tackled it at least once or twice.
I mean, Zootopia. The whole thing about Zootopia was racism.
Yeah. Zootopia was definitely racism. But a show like My Little Pony, which is generally geared towards a younger audience, while still bearing in mind that it does have a more grown-up audience, I almost want to say this is a milestone, but it's not, because I know racism's been tackled before in kids media.
And on that, it's the same sort of thing. I don't know if this was mentioned on this show previously or if I read it somewhere. Yeah, this show started out 7-8 years ago as a show for 11-year-old girls, but if those same people are watching it now, they're in their late teens.
Right.
So it's growing up with its audience, sort of.
Right.
I mean, it's always been a family social. They've always talked about more serious topics here and there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that it's slowly become more over the years, focusing on the more adult topics.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that actually makes me happy, because this actually opens the door. If they can talk about racism, this open and how you can tolerate people of other races, or in this case, creatures of other cultures. This opens the door for them to actually be able to talk about much more touchy topics. Like, I could actually, before, I could not see them doing an episode about homosexuality. This actually opens the door where I bet they could, and they could actually get away with it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's still a bit of a stretch, but maybe.
Yeah. When it comes to racism, everybody agrees that racism is bad, even the people who think they're not racist, but definitely are.
Right. But I'm saying this does open the door for that potential, where they could do it in a way, and I don't know.
Well, it's pushing the envelope more and more.
I'm not gonna put my hopes up, but I could definitely see it being something they could tackle.
Like, if it happens, you won't be so surprised.
Right.
Maybe, and this is all I'm going to say about it. They could introduce Scootaloo's family.
Yep. Or hell, they don't even have to introduce them. They could just have Scootaloo casually mention,
or just have him be there, and it's nothing strange. But I don't know how much we can talk about that, because I know it's something like in the expanded content, if you will, that people
true,
who don't follow anything other than just the show, like me, would know.
But that book is considered canon, right?
I kicked myself by accident. I was trying to click on the Nerds Talking chat, and I accidentally clicked AFK.
Good
nice
job.
aim.
But this episode made me proud to be a part of this community, because this is where we are. we as a community can love and tolerate and can see, the love that for a love for all races, no matter who they are. And now the show has reflected that. And I love it. I love them for it. And I give them so much credit for having, I almost want to say, the balls to do something like this. No, and you laugh.
No, it's a good way of putting it.
But this was a very risky move on their part, because if they hadn't, or if they were risking, the show could have been canceled. Because I wouldn't. No, I almost say if this episode had bombed and like parents had been outraged about it, they could have fought to have Pony pulled off the air.
I mean, we've had bigger things happen before.
No.
Yeah. I don't think this is quite as. I mean, it's a big step, yeah, and it's pushing the envelope a little bit. But I don't think they're risking the show on this. Like, they were very well aware of what their limits were and how far they could go with it. It definitely wasn't being conservative, but I don't think it was risking the show.
It would be utterly.
Worst, they might pull the episode from iTunes.
It is utterly insane to think that they did not watch and approve this episode.
Yeah. And that's the other thing is, I mean, Derpygate happened. Like, we all know about Derpygate. We all know that Derpy will never be named again on camera.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, it's like even before this episode was made, they gave the concept script to the board or whatever to approve it. It was obvious what the theme of this episode was going to be. Whereas with Derpygate, they just had lines, and it was more of how it was delivered that was the controversy.
Right. It's still a very touchy topic, and I'm actually surprised that they got away with it. Like, and I love them for doing so. So, does anyone have? I missed it. Does anyone have anything to add, or are we moving on?
Actually, if I mentioned, I was meaning to mention, but I forgot. Do you guys think Naysay will come back?
I hope so. By God, I hope so.
If nothing else, at least like either the mid-season finale or the actual finale.
I almost want to see him become a big bad. Like, he wants to, not like a villain, but definitely the big antagonist where he tries to shut down the school one more time. Like, I could see that happening.
Maybe. Could see that, or I could see him. I'm not sure if they'll get like him to have a speaking role again, but they might show him again, like maybe nodding in approval at something. Well, I don't know, but we'll see.
I guess it depends on how overly expensive Maurice LaMarche is. I mean, he doesn't charge much for his autograph, so I don't imagine he thinks too highly of himself. Like, he's only $25 for an autograph. So I guess it really depends on him, how he enjoyed being on the show, and
that's interesting.
Yeah, like
usually a unicorn's magic matches their eye color. Not all the time, of course. I think.
I honestly never noticed that until you pointed it out just now.
But where? And, what?
The
Naysay's magic is orange, where his eyes are blue. And I'm surprised it doesn't match the chains that he's putting up either.
Hashtag conspiracy. He's not actually a real unicorn. He's actually Chrysalis in disguise.
Then his magic would be green.
Right.
Evil Cadence's was.
Hashtag she learned how to disguise her magic color.
Then why didn't she make it match the color? That is.
No! I don't know!
But yeah, no, it's just something interesting. It's an interesting character design.
So anybody else? Anything? Bueller?
Bueller.
All right, so now we move on to the final part of the pony talk, where I get to yell at a random pony and ask them what they thought of the episode. Catnick, your opinion, go.
Whoa.
I think it was one of the best season openers. Like, probably the only one better is the one introducing Discord. With considering the fact that they introduced a shit ton of new characters. on top of making them, for the most part, enjoyable and fleshed out enough to distinguish them, they basically just did the opening, the season opener for season 1 plus.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's pretty awesome.
What would you rate it?
Oh no, sell us out of 10.
There you go.
Okay. Awesome. Phasor Shift.
This is by far my favorite episode this season.
Well, I mean,
well, no,
not wrong.
It's not exactly a tight competition right now.
I did enjoy it. I thought it was well done. Again, pretty fleshed out characters, lots of new introduced characters. Lots of new things, but it wasn't overwhelming as I feel like there's been a couple episodes in the past where they just tried to do too much, and it helped that it was a two-parter. Second part I think was a bit weaker than the first. But
Right.
also I kind of nerdgasmed, I don't know, at the Puckwudgies because that is my Illinois house. I think.
That's your
the American Harry Potter wizarding school. One of their houses is Puckwudgie, and I believe that's the one I'm in.
Nice.
It's like one of the American schools, one of the American houses, right?
Yeah, Ilvermorny.
Yeah. Which makes sense considering it's a Delawarean myth.
Honestly, I'd never heard of a Puckwudgie till this episode.
Oh. I don't think they're usually this violent.
Yeah. Considering some of the art, they certainly look scary as shit.
Everyone in the chat was saying they look like critters.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's some horror movie, I guess.
From the old movie Critters. All right. So, Ember.
Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, this turned out a lot better than I thought it would. I didn't
kick lightning, erupting lightning.
I know, but like, okay, let me continue now, please. See, now I've lost my train of thought.
We were talking about the episode.
Yes.
And what you thought of it.
Yes. And it turned out a lot better than I thought it would. Like, I didn't know anything about the episode coming into it, like I do, and I didn't watch it until earlier today. And when I heard people talking about a school all week, so I kind of got that much. But once I got in, I was wondering how in the world they could actually have a convincing, plot twists. I didn't know where the heck they could go with this, but it turned out pretty well. They did a good job with it. The students that all came in were really down to earth. The way they became friends was really believable, and there's not much else to say without rehashing what everybody else already said. So I'm going to go ahead and rate this 5 out of 5. Great start to a fresh season.
Another thing I want to add that I forgot to mention was we mentioned how well they were able to make the yak sound like a yak, but all the races played their unique traits. Like the dragons and griffins are usually rougher and are more used to being mean and sarcastic.
Right.
Very competitive, yeah.
Yeah.
Changelings like to hide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I honestly really like the episode. I got to agree with Kat. This is definitely one of the better season openers.
Mm-hmm.
I would put it up there next to the introduction of Starlight. Yeah, that's right. I actually like the introduction of Starlight a lot better than I liked Discord's introduction.
I mean, that makes sense. I think I agree with you.
I would put this one at second best opener. Because it was just so interesting and just like I said, so deep in the story. Just how far they were willing to go. I also forgot to mention, Twilight battling with a little bit of depression. Kind of hit close to home.
Yeah.
Her just having that breakdown just really hurt me. I was like, oh my God, Twilight, no. And yeah, I loved it. This was such a great episode in every way it could be. And it was an episode again that we needed. Like I said a couple weeks ago that we needed perfect pair. I feel like we needed this one because it was such a refresher. After the very almost borderline scary season finale we got last time, which we'll discuss at a later date when we have downtime from this season. But yeah, it was such a good episode all around. Look forward to seeing the new characters. Really hope that they all come back. And yeah.
One more.
Changeling Girl for life. Yep.
Oh man, is it so nice to have new pony again.
I do want to add one thing real quick, Bo.
I still wasn't done with mine, but keep going.
Oh, okay, go ahead and finish yours.
I was going to say 5 Trixies out of 5.
Oh, the actual rating.
Would Trixie again.
Okay, so I do want to add that, like, I think the reason that this ended up being so good was that it opened up where we could go in a way that hasn't been done in a long time. Like, I feel like the show for a while has been locked in and it's been trying to like break itself out, but it hasn't really been able to do that. But with this episode, it ended up introducing a fresh cast of well-liked characters, and unique characters and well-meshed characters, and they could do anything with them at this point. They're completely open. They don't have a bunch like we were talking about earlier in the show. They don't have a bunch of commitments, like shops and orchards and all this other stuff. They're just students, and they can go do things without having to worry about anything else. And I think that's what the show needs. So I'm kind of hoping that this season focuses a lot on these characters, because I feel like that's what this episode is leading up to and what the show needs itself.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people were getting worried that the main 6 were starting to get stagnant. It's like, okay, get it. We've seen them. How much more can we do with these same 6 ponies? And adding Starlight Glimmer really did expand on that a lot, but there was it was very similar like Twilight, and I'm glad none of the new ponies are like, evening glitter, and it's a pink pony or a lavender pony with a slightly brighter shade of purple maybe. Right. So it's not another Twilight Sparkle clone. So yeah, it's nice to have a new cast, maybe completely new, maybe just another supporting cast that we'll see some more, to add some variety. Because like I said, people were worrying that the main 6 were getting stagnant and weren't sure where the show would go. And like Ember said, this definitely opens up a whole lot of things that they can do. Right.
I was going to say 5 out of 5 Trixies. Needed more Trixie.
Yeah. I did see.
There was a great lack of Trixie in this episode.
There was. That's true.
If I can find it close enough.
No, there's not. There was a picture of her.
That doesn't count. What? Where was there a picture of her? What?
Oh, I didn't see it.
There was a comic I saw after this episode.
Oh,
here it is.
Count.
I know what you're talking about. And I'm thinking of the next episode, my bad.
I have not seen the new episode yet.
Neither have I. I'm going to go watch it here in a little bit if my roommate will let me.
No pony, only pizza.
There we go.
Okay, Michelangelo.
All right. But this comic, if Ember wants to throw it up.
I can't read it.
I gotta, hold on.
You can send it to me later, Phasor.
All right. But it's basically Starlight's asking, what about the unicorn, the one who attacked Canterlot? Tempest, Twilight says, I invited her, but she wanted to spread the word of the Storm King's defeat and share what she learned about friendship. And the next panel is Tempest showing...
I wanted to talk about our savior, Twilight Sparkle, the defeat of the Storm King, and the magic of friendship. Trixie already read.
Yeah.
See, I told you it's becoming a religion.
I needed that to be in the episode, and by God, it wasn't.
I know, but that's great because she was with the friendship journal that they had.
Yeah.
And Trixie's cooking or trying.
It's a shame they didn't refer to her as Fizzle Pop.
Yeah, I was kind of sad on that. But anyway, that's actually all the time we have to talk about Pony. I believe Catnick and I wanted to discuss a new game that came out.
You were supposed to talk about Fortnite, right?
No, I'm not talking
Fuck
about
that game.
Fortnite. Fuck Fortnite. I tried getting into Fortnite. You know what happened? Within 10 fucking minutes into Fortnite, I found a building, thought I was doing great, and I got shot in the head and kicked out of the fucking server.
Okay.
Fuck. Hey.
Well, that's the battle royale. Fortnite itself is a different game.
It sucked. I was turned off immediately. I didn't know what I was doing. No, we're talking about Far Cry 5.
Oh, that's right.
AKA Shovel Knight HD.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a better.
I didn't even use the shovel at all. I must be fat.
I haven't played it. I haven't seen any gameplay. I just saw an article about people are raving about the shovel in Far Cry.
Yeah, there's
Okay,
like a
the shovel's pretty powerful. Not gonna lie.
In my Let's Play of it, Ember can attest to this.
Oh yeah.
I have an entire episode where I just run around beating the shit out of people with a shovel. The almighty shovel.
Have you actually beat the game, Demi?
I have not. I haven't got to play it as much as I'd like because I've been super busy with work. But I've gotten. I'm right at where you're gonna fight Joshua Seed. I think that's the name of the guy in Far's End.
Is he
right. The guy in the southeast?
The father,
right?
No, the father is Joseph.
Oh, the father is Joseph. Yeah.
That's
there's a lot.
John Seed, Joshua Seed. I don't remember which one it is. I don't remember his name.
The grandfather.
But he's the one that does the power of yes.
Right.
I fucking love it. He's got like a Hollywood billboard sign style that just says yes in the mountains.
And I keep accidentally shooting Boomer. Like he keeps getting in the way when I'm getting ready to shoot somebody. So I'll shoot him and feel really bad.
He's the only gun for hire I never got.
You didn't get Boomer?
No, I got everyone else.
Dude, Boomer's like the flagship partner.
Maybe, but you can't beat fucking strafing runs.
I'm looking forward to getting Jess. Jess is the one I really want. The cute girl.
I know nothing about this game.
She's just a archer, I believe.
Yeah,
that's
archer, and she wears a little hoodie, and she just looks so adorable. And she sounds adorable, so I can't wait to get her. But check. I'll have Ember put in my Let's Play channel into the description below, and yeah, just watch it. It's really good. Not my Let's Play. My Let's Play sucks. I mean, watch my Let's Play. Please watch my Let's Play. I'm desperate. Not really.
You're desperate.
But play Far Cry 5. It's great. It really is. Far Cry 5. I recommend it. So far from what I've played of it, 5 out of 5.
It's definitely way better than the 3 or 4 in terms of gameplay.
The prehistoric one?
They got rid of the towers.
They made a funny joke about that. That was hilarious.
They do.
No, yeah, they make a joke like, "Thank God you're not gonna have to do this all the time, right?"
The first guy you meet asks you to climb a tower to activate, and he's like, "Now I know what you're thinking.
You're probably gonna have to
No, I am not gonna make you climb towers all over the county. That's stupid."
Yeah, that was great. Sorry for the spoiler, Phasor.
It's you get it within the first 30 minutes, for 30 minutes to an hour. It's not really too much of a spoiler.
5 out of 5. Enjoy it. We won't say any more so that Phasor doesn't get spoiled anymore.
I'm probably not gonna play it anyway.
Oh, just watch Sammy play it then.
Yeah, just watch me play it.
That's what I'm doing.
Just so you guys know, I've already recorded up to 5 episodes. Episode 5 sucks. It was recorded late at night. I was tired as hell, and I started getting really pissed off and frustrated because it put me in a goddamn cutscene at the end of the time when I was trying to get off. I was like, no! Stop!
Oh, did you get pulled away by him?
I got the whole bullshit bliss bullet, which I won't say anything else.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm unsure about when it came to how the progression worked.
But anyway, That's actually all the time we have for this. If anyone had anything else they wanted to talk about, now it's the time to do it, or hold your peace.
I do have a thing I need to add. If you're watching the stream, you can check out our YouTube. Once I get this edited and uploaded, you'll be able to find all of the images that I've used on the episode portion of.
I just remembered. I was supposed to start a new segment called Timmy's Attention to Details.
Oh.
To be honest, I hadn't really watched the episode outside of the stream, so I haven't gotten a whole lot of time to
the whole thing about the movie, or like the movie tie-in, was a good attention to detail, I guess.
But I did like the little tiny pirate ship floating around on the map. That
it shouldn't be there because it was destroyed, but
they
obviously got no one.
That's fucking fast. This is supposed to take place like right after everything.
Not necessarily. They could have stayed in Canterlot for a week or 12.
Maybe the princesses gave them a new ship as a way of saying thank you for your help.
Yeah. And they get Capper Rarity's phone number. Meow. All right, so that's all the time we have.
Okay.
Except for Ember's thing, real quick.
Yeah. So, so if you're watching the stream, check out the YouTube. You get a link to all of the images that I used, including ones that I didn't use in the show, but I took screenshots of, as well as any of the fan art that I used. You can find links to go check those out. So lots of stuff to check out in the description of the YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to check us out live, you can do so at bronytv.net on Saturdays at 9 o'clock EST. I think it's EST now again or something. Yep. Time zones are weird. I'd also like to add a little portion where we can kind of advertise if anybody wants to find us elsewhere. They can let us know. So like, Tammy, you've got your YouTube channel, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So, and Tammy's playing, as he said, Far Cry, and also playing.
Right now, I'm playing that Nier Automata, Kingdom Hearts.
Nier Automata.
Yeah.
Automata.
Doesn't matter. We know what he's talking about. Yeah. Nier, the game with the sexy robot lady.
So those things. You can find the link to Tammy's YouTube channel in the description of the YouTube channel and of this YouTube episode, whatever. Phasor Shift's got something, right?
Yeah, I live stream on Twitch. I've been doing that a lot lately. And currently, my main game, I'm playing Ark Survival Evolved, which is one of those. Thank you, Drago. One of those kind of survival crafting type games where you're dropped on an island, but there are dinosaurs, and you can ride the dinosaurs and tame them. And
don't forget the giant fucking spiders.
And the giant fucking spiders. And
oh god.
And yeah, I'm playing on a private server with a couple friends, and we've gotten a pretty decent base, and we're starting to breed and mutate. And we have dragons, and we have griffins, and I named every single one of my griffins over a griffin after a griffin in one of the Fallout Equestria series. And I've lost a lot of them.
Oh.
Rip Gaudina, Cage.
Right, so the link to Phazor's Twitch will be in the description as well.
Also, mine as well, because every now and again I do play World of Warcraft, or I'm going to start trying to play Hat in Time on it as well.
Oh, okay. So link to that in the description.
I can't get Hat in Time to since I can't get Hat in Time to record properly, I'm just going to do it as a Let's Play on that.
I couldn't even get it to play properly last time I tried. So you're having better luck than I am. I don't have either one of those things, but I do have a Twitter that I tweet at sometimes. You can just go check that out at Ember Melodica. Catnick, do you have anything?
I'm dying.
You're dying. Oh.
Catnick has the flu, everybody, so wish him goodbye.
Yeah.
Rip Cat. 2000 or 1998, I want to say. 1997 to 2018, everybody.
Yeah.
He made it to 21 and then died.
Rip in pieces. I mean, what?
And not to the good way of getting to 21 and dying.
Right. Okay,
All right.
that's the end of that spiel. So, Tammy, you can close us out.
All right, everyone. That's all the time we have for this episode. Now, I will not be here next week because I'm going to be going to, hopefully, unless my work pulls a fast one on me, which if they do, I'm going to go anyway. I will be going to a convention next week to meet my idol in life, Christopher Lloyd. So I'm super excited for that. But I also get to meet the likes of Maurice LaMarche and Rob Paulson, so that's going to be really cool. That's Pinky and the Brain for those keeping score. And so I won't be here, but I encourage these guys to continue without me if they can, because I want to keep the ball rolling. I don't want, just because I'm not here, it to die.
Right. As if we can get at least Cat and Phasor on next week, we should be able to do a show.
Right. Right. So I won't be here next week, but I will be here the week after, God willing. So I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. And yeah, let's go ahead and end it here. Bye.